Yes, we're here. We made it.
Hello, everyone. Uh, well, we are excited to have everyone here. We have Jason Casuga today, our senior product manager. And if you haven't met me before, my name is Johanna Stroba, and I'm the director of customer success here at TimeZest. And we like to do these monthly webinars to kind of bring everyone in and give you an opportunity to ask questions, and for us to share little tidbits here and there about what's going on here at TimeZest, what is new, or learn little tips and tricks. That's something to keep an eye out for. We announce it in-app as well as on TimeZest LinkedIn page. So you can always keep an eye out for the upcoming webinars. They're always the last week of the month, typically on Wednesday or Thursday around this time. So thank you, everyone, for joining us today. I think that we are going here. We're in a somewhat new system, and so I'm hoping we're using it properly. We don't have our background support that we usually do. So as we fumble through this, I appreciate the patience. But let's go ahead. Jason, tell us about the new UI. So we've been
Yeah,
working on this behind the scenes for a while. The team's been actively, going through, and we've been testing it for a little bit now. And so we're excited. It's in beta testing still.
correct.
And so this is an opportunity to just kind of see what it is and learn about why we're doing it and get a little preview and then ask questions. So
Yeah,
um, go take us away. Show us what we
let's
got.
let's let's go. Let's talk about it. But I do see some eyes. It looks like those are attendees coming in, so I think we are in a good spot to keep it going. So I don't think there's any support
Okay.
that we needed from our team. But yes, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining in. We're really excited about this new progress that our team internally has been working on for quite some time. Haven't really made any announcements just because we just wanted to make sure that we're focused and working on it as efficiently as possible because we're really excited with the reasoning on why we want to do this. So I'm just sharing my screen here and just wanted to give a little bit of preview about the purpose and where you are today with the TimeZest application. For those that haven't logged in quite some time, as you can see here, it's basically just the bare bones of what the application can do today in terms of the menu settings on the left hand side, as well as the dashboard as soon as you first log in. What you're going to notice is at the very top, the light blue banner to say to join the new TimeZest experience. And that's what this new UI is all about. It's going to give you that ability to be able to switch back and forth. We don't want to just lock you in and say, hey, mess around with it and just go at it. We want you to be able to have that power to be able to switch back and forth. Before I proceed with even showing the new UI, I kind of want to just start here and really talk about it. There's a couple of things that we were pointing out and what we've discovered within the what is it, Joe? 5 years that we've been as a company. It's been
6, I
flying.
think. Yeah.
Yeah, it's flown so quickly,
Yep.
and a lot of changes, not only in terms of the UI, but of course the feature functionality has expanded that way as well.
Mhm.
And throughout that time, our engineering team has been working on the same platform on the back end with what it could be used in terms of the functionality today. With the research that we've done, we felt like it was about time, right? We needed to make sure that our software can be scalable and moved forward into the next generation, if you will, or the next phase of the technology that's available for us to use today. So we looked at it and we're making that decision to say, okay, we want to be able to improve on it, not only in terms of the back end functionality and what this new system can do, but also too just to make the user experience better for you guys and be able to navigate and stuff like that. Make it easier for you to do. First thing, I mean, it's just pretty simple. Like this we're trying to make the screens a lot simpler. So as you can see, there's a lot of real estate here in the middle, or not really the middle, the left menu area. It's just one of those little things that we're calling out to say, okay, this doesn't really fit well with the way that our design implementation should be. So can we make this a little bit smaller for you guys to have more real estate in terms of the settings? We also wanted to make sure that this new platform that we're building the TimeZest application off of is allowing us to be able to build on top of what it can do today. For example, we're looking into potentially thinking into the AI aspect of it. I'm really tired of saying those two letters, but that's the future. That's the buzzwords nowadays. That's where we're going, right? That's the direction of basically every software company is something to do with AI and smart something. We needed this new interface to be able to have the capability for our engineers to build some kind of smart logic that will allow us to be able to present that to you in a better fashion than what this current UI is doing, right? So let me
Mhm.
just go ahead and just jump right in. I'm just want to head and then click on the button here that is available for you guys as well to be able to switch that UI, and that's what you're going to be able to do here, right? So as an administrator, if you have that role, the TimeZest administrator, you're going to be able to see that banner and be able to click on the new UI. And just make sure for your education, it's also going to apply for all of your other users that are logging in too. It's not like, technician A who doesn't have administrative rights can revert back to the old UI. It's an all or nothing for the entire account. Right? So
Mhm.
we just wanted to make sure that you're aware that, it's not going to be too much of a surprise to them to where they have to revert back or anything like that, just because we built this first iteration of the new UI to just be a one-to-one parity match. Right? We didn't want to add too many like major updates to the new UI. We wanted to be able to just show you that this new technology and the new interface is just really the same data. Is just going to be presented in a different way. So as you can see here, a very small update here on the left-hand side, like I was pointing out earlier. We wanted to give you a lot more space in the main settings. So we basically collapsed the left menu to just be the icons. And then just as I hover over, you can see it's the same order of those menu items, appointment types, users, teams, same order as you saw before. Small enhancements and updates that we're doing. Just trying to call out here. Classic configuration, for example, is one of them. You can't really see that and really tell that today in the new UI. So this is kind of an advantage to getting into it, where you get to be able to see and understand what the difference is between which appointment type is in this classic configuration mode versus one that's in workflow mode that gives you that greater granular capability to be able to change specific settings. All right, so let's just keep going. I'm not going to show every single screen, but I just want to just kind of click around and really show you what is driven here. And you can certainly, by all means, go in and try out your TimeZest account to be able to be going into this new UI. But as you can see here, a lot of the things that we're defining is organized in a different way to be able to show you that we can compress, really consolidate the settings, but really make it stand out to where you can easily find them in the settings that you're used to today.
Hey, Jason, real
Yes.
quick before we move on, there's a question about not switching back after you switch to the new UI. So she's wondering, did I hear you say we cannot switch back if we try the new UI? Since how I think the verbiage on the banner was saying try the new UI, and then you can switch back at any time. If you
Yeah.
wanted to
Yeah. You can.
expand on that.
Yeah. Sure thing. So, as you can see my mouse, I'm just basically going to the My Profile here. And then as an administrator, you're going to be able to see that option right here, right above the logout, to where you can switch back.
Mhm.
Right? We needed to
Okay.
clear that space, right? So whenever you were at the dashboard and you accepted the fact you're going to move to new UI, we just needed to clear that space up top and just make it as an experience where you would just assume that you're in the new UI permanently. But if you needed to switch back, simple enough. Just go back here, and as you can see, I'm back to the old or current UI for you, and then you can see the banner is still up again if you wanted to go back and forth. So we're not stopping you. We're not holding you from just going in one time and then you're stuck. You can go back and forth as many times as you need. At some point, we're gonna have to remove this,
Mhm.
but for now, for the time being, while we're in beta mode, we want you to have that opportunity to be able to just click around, get familiar with it, navigate around, and then if you ever get stuck, feel free to go back. No problem, no issue from there.
Thank you. Thanks for
Cool.
explaining that.
All right. So just moving along, just as I'm talking,
Mhm.
um, another thing that we wanted to make sure that we have is has to do with like validation of what changes you've made. Right. So
Mm.
as you can see, all of the save changes buttons are disabled at the moment, just because you haven't done anything. There's no settings that were made. Just in case if you ever made a change, you can see that the options to be able to save the changes and discard is now visible. It just makes a little bit of a quality of life here, just that one notch better. So then you can see exactly what you changed, and if you needed to disregard, you can do so. Reverts back to the original settings, and you can go from there or save it. So you don't have to keep refreshing the screen. Say you made some changes to a lot of like certain settings within a particular screen, and you just forgot where you're at. You don't have to refresh the entire screen to lose all your settings. You have that specific section to disregard, and then make your adjustments from there. So it's scattered throughout the different areas. We wanted to make sure that you can revert the specific area that you may have made a mistake on, so that
Mhm.
you can start over and do it all again if you need. Right?
And that came back from, customer feedback about how it was saving previously. We had conversations with people saying, I don't, it's saying I need to save, but I haven't. So this was to really, go off of that customer feedback that we were hearing
Yeah,
from you guys about what can be improved there with the saving functionality. So, um,
exactly.
yeah, it's great. That's why we like to do this, and we have the feature request just to highlight that, is we do like to hear from you. I always say, it's not a black hole where good ideas go to die. We actually do want to hear what how we can improve. And so I just wanted to point out that that was actually, that was a customer feedback there. Yep.
Yeah, and I want to make sure that as well too. I want to like also step into that one where
Yeah.
yes, that was a little thing, like one little
Mhm.
notch, but it was an easy thing for us to accomplish.
Yep.
Some of these things that our customers are asking for, yes, it does require quite a bit of work, and we do have to make sure we prioritize it to make sure
Mhm.
we maximize the use of our engineering time to do something as little as that alongside with some of the other work that we're working with
Mhm.
it. Okay, so don't feel that your submissions of the feature requests are ignored. We're just trying to lay out the pieces and the timing to make sure we can get to them. We do have
Yep.
other things that we have to accomplish to get to it, like this new UI, in order to get some other things lined up in a row to be able to start working on. We just may not be able to get it in the time that you need it, but we want to make sure that we can answer those as much as possible, as soon as we can as well.
Yep.
One of the other things that I wanted to show in this specific screen, because it's the only thing it can remind me of where it's at, is I'm going to go into, and I didn't do it in this environment, so let me just create one. Toggle buttons, where one of the other quality of life improvements that we made is really just the autosave of toggles. Right, so that's another thing that we uh, found is a small improvement to this new UI, is the fact that you don't have to make a change and then save it every single time. It's just as immediately as soon as you toggle something, it's automatically saved and set. Okay, so just wanted to make sure you're aware of that. As you notice, there's no save button anywhere in here. So whenever you see that within the application in the new UI, it's just an automatic save and update whenever you enable or disable a toggle. Okay. So navigating around as well. Just continue on. We're kind of showing you. I'm kind of staging myself to show what's coming up, right? So like this is the first phase of this new UI, and as I'm driving around, you can see that it's like adopting the same settings. You're noticing that there's nothing new other than those little small subtle changes that we were showing you here. One of the other improvements as well. I'm not a big night mode person, but I mean, there's some huge fans of that, super fans. It's here, I guess. Take it if you will. Uh, but yes, it is a night mode. Um, you can do that, and it does show as a nice visual representation of it. And you can see, I don't know how clear it is on your side, but on my screen, super sharp, like as it is in dark mode.
Mhm.
There's the words not fuzzy, anything like that. So it just makes it nice and stand out with how these settings are done, especially in the way that it's set. So good there.
Beautiful.
Okay. Any questions, Joe, from the team, or not from the team, from our guests?
No others at this point. Yeah, you guys, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. This is your opportunity to ask away, and we'll answer them throughout the conversation. But
Yeah.
what
So I
else
want to
is going on?
let's so kind of want to transition to what the future is of this new UI. Some things that we're looking up ahead of time. One of the things is Calendar HQ. Let's start with that. There's three things I want to show. Um, Really, I can't show. I have to talk about it. I can't show it because we don't even have it built yet. Um, so improvements to the Calendar HQ for those that have logged in and started utilizing it. Thank you very much for that, because we're seeing that there's a lot more movement, a lot more adoption with Calendar HQ, especially with the capability to be able to look at scheduled appointments and being able to cancel and reschedule as well as reassign them,
Mhm,
just in case if certain appointments were to somehow not make it in that agreed time and with the agreed engineer or resource. You do have that capability to be able to cancel the appointment, reschedule it to a different date and time, or just a fact that you can reassign it to a different engineer. Say, for example, one use case is that if a tech is assigned to this call, specifically this Thursday call at 10 o'clock, um, Deb can't make it, so we just need to reassign it to somebody else who can. It's just doing it from here rather than having to go and request it by the client to say, "Hey, I need to uh, reschedule or I need to send you another scheduling request to somebody else." We can just simply reassign it to another individual.
mhm,
So yes, thank you for that. We've got a lot of feedback from the first iteration of Calendar HQ. One of the things we're looking into in making this a better fit for the new UI, color coding, allowing you to be able to color code where these things are coming from. A lot of the distraction that's coming in from the Calendar HQ, or just not really distraction, but really the challenge or hurdle, is that I can't really tell where this thing is coming from. Right? So if I have this huge list of appointments and tasks that are on my calendar, where does it come from? Because we're pulling in from multiple calendars, one from your PSA, one from your Outlook calendar, and eventually in the future, when we look into other platforms of Google or our iCloud, we need to be able to have a distinction there to be able to show you rather than just having a gray option at this point. So we're looking at that, giving you that capability to be able to color code, and also having a specific icon to be able to show that. Where we're going to put it, we're not sure yet. In this empty space or down over here, we're looking into making a better visual for you to be able to see whether or not it came from a TimeZest appointment, or if it's stemming from a Outlook private appointment, or if this one specifically is coming from a service ticket, as well as a ConnectWise activity, or for those that's on auto task, if it's a to do, we're going to be able to split that up and show you where it's coming from as well. So trying to make that a little bit of a better view for you. other things as well when it comes to the teams and who you want to be able to see. We were capturing that one as well. We heard a lot that I've got a team that I manage, and now I just have to keep switching back and forth between each individual user. We're adding in the ability to be able to pull from your existing team, or you can create your own specific team. So then you can show in this list here in the day view those users that you want to see their calendar appointments and make adjustments as you see fit from there. Okay. We're looking into the drag and drop feature. That's a big thing. That's a lot of work. So we're gonna investigate that. They're just moving. Didn't mean to click, but yeah, just the fact that you can move this appointment over. Can't do that right now, as you saw. I just tried to click and it can do that. We're looking into seeing how we can drag and drop appointments just to make it easier, because that's how the style is nowadays. So how can we make that easier for you guys to be able to utilize it within Calendar HQ?
So real quick, yes, that's correct, Kath. You can reassign from here, but not within the pod, within the ticket. So reassign, you can also reschedule appointments, and what's the other one that I'm thinking?
Cancel.
You can cancel from here as well.
Yeah.
So if you have a tech call out sick, you can come in here and reassign all their appointments. Good to see you, Rob. So Rob says, with Calendar HQ, can we now set our TimeZest appointment types to only allow scheduling when there is an open space in both our ConnectWise and 365 calendars? It's always been that way, Rob. So if I'm understanding correctly, we do look for the open availability in both of your calendars as long as you have the integration for both set up. So if you don't currently have 365 set up, then you'll want to do that. And then we can look at both of them and respect both of them accordingly. We can also show both of them in Calendar HQ, or you can have it only show, if you only want it to display your PSA calendar events in Calendar HQ, you can do that here under your settings.
Yep. So just showing you right here under the user, the specific user's profile. If you go to the calendar screen, same thing in the current UI as well. These toggles will show you what you can display. I think the first question you ask is, can you have TimeZest respect any conflicts between both of the calendars, as long as the toggles are enabled for that, for both the PSA and Microsoft? That's where TimeZest is going to respect that. If you're not seeing that today, it's potentially is because you may have opened up or disabled the option to say, um, you know, respect Microsoft 365 calendars from showing as availability.
By default, when you set up the integration, it should be blocking conflicting appointments for both.
Correct. Yeah, they're always going to be enabled.
Yep.
At the first. Yep. And then, yeah, as Joe, as you were saying, these two right here that I'm circling, that's the fact that they display on Calendar HQ. So you could see whether or not you want to show your appointments on the calendar for others to be able to see that. Okay.
Awesome.
So while I'm here, that was the next thing I wanted to transition to. Good segue. Some basic improvements to this availability part. We wanted to just not only because there's some confusion here. If I just move this out of the way, that's the only way to get rid of it. A little bit hard to understand, so we just wanted to make this a little bit easier to set up, and also to some certain settings to be able to add those, because right now you just got to add it as I click and click hold and hover over the respective block. We want to be able to make some slight improvements on that as well. So that's not there yet. We're trying to work on the next steps to be able to make this experience a little bit easier for you. Okay. And then that was another quick and easy that we were trying to knock out. Not going to save this. So the next thing I wanted to actually talk about, one of the bigger things that we're looking into, is just a basic migration piece. There's a lot of customers that we're seeing today that just needs an option to be able to move to a new PSA. Right? So it just didn't work out for them for some reason, and they needed to move their TimeZest account to the new PSA. We're working on it right now. I can't click on it because it's not going to do it. It's just going to take you to some documentation at the moment. But we have to manually assist you in creating a new TimeZest account, moving some settings over, getting your subscription over, and stuff like that. We're Our engineers right now are working on this tool right here that will eventually we're going to switch it over once it's available, that allows you to be able to go through a step by step process to be able to map certain settings that you have in your current PSA, map to the same thing inside of your new PSA. For example, if
Mhm.
I have a status in PSA 1, it's a on hold status or something that I have TimeZest using. This migration tool will say which is the same setting inside your new PSA should that relate to. So that basically when you're done with this mapping, we could just simply switch over to the new account, and your existing users, appointment types, all of your settings are there so that you don't have to worry about creating a new TimeZest account and start from scratch. We just wanted to make that a little bit of an easier process for you because we understand that you've got other integrations out there that are tied to your PSA account and they don't have this migration tool. So we just wanted to make it one bit easier for you to be able to
Yeah.
move on with the rest of your integrations that you have to move over.
It's a big process, so, smoothing the way a little bit is is
Yeah,
nice. Not
yeah,
starting from scratch, so I'm excited for that one for our customers in the future. That'll be a good improvement.
yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
So I'll put that as those are the things we're working on now. Right. So we
Mhm.
have what we've worked on, or we're beta testing, which is this new UI. Those are the things that we're working on now. There's some other things that we're also working on that I can't really talk about because it's new, it's exciting. Kind of gonna share it kind of in this in the at the end of this appointment or this meeting. Um, but I can't share too much details yet because it's not there yet. But
It's still in
future
the think
sense,
tank.
yeah, exactly. It's in
It's still
we're
in the
just
think
about
tank.
to get our engineers to start working on it. So
Yeah.
good think tank, good stuff that we're looking into. We'll tease it, but yeah, not from there yet. But future sense, what I'm looking for as a member in the product team here at TimeZest, I'm really striving here to help with organization. That's another big thing that is really something I'm hearing a lot. Where this is just a simple, fresh copy of a TimeZest account where only four appointment types start, and then I just created this other one just to do it. Um, but for those that have been with us for the 5 years, um, you know, throughout that time, y'all have built 20 plus appointment types, so many different appointment types, and you have different use cases for each one. I'm looking to see how we can make that a better organization for you. Right? That's been the thing of what I've been trying to push. I can't make any promises now, but like I'm looking to try to get our leadership team to help understand that that's something of an importance for you, not only for an existing customer, but for those newer customers that are eventually going to have that pain point at some point. That there's too many appointment types that are tied to everybody. There's no security backing behind it to say a somebody that's on the support team does not need to see a sales appointment type, right? So I wanted to be able to push on that to see how we can make that a thing for you. Again, it's all about the simplicity. You guys are used to seeing and using a very simple application. We want to make that easier for those administrators that have to administrate the app and make navigation a lot more easier, which will eventually make more sense for the technicians and those that are using it within the pod. And ConnectWise, the Insight inside of Autotask or the tab inside of Halo PSA with our integrations today.
So Jason, something that I'm actually excited about for our customers is our new workflow mode, the way that looks. Can you share that with everyone? Because I know that that can be a hang up for a lot of people in the today's UI. Um, but I'm excited to, we've kind of made it more visually simple to understand what you're changing, where things are at, and what you're actually looking at. So, um, if you haven't explored this, this is a great little change here. So, can you
Yeah,
talk us
actually,
through this a little bit?
yeah, sure thing. I'm going to back up too because I want to start off with something that's in classic configuration mode, just to set the stage of what workflow mode is. So
Mm-hmm.
pre-configured, every single appointment type that you create starts off its life in work in. Phew, I'm already messing it up. It starts its life in classic configuration, except for Halo PSA. That's the only one that we require that it starts off in workflow mode. But for ConnectWise and Autotask customers, you'll see this tab if you go to the additional settings and you see the tab under workflow. It's already there. It exists. Okay, so you can get comfortable with looking at this and just start seeing what workflow mode shows you in terms of the details of what the appointment type does today. These are the steps that it takes when it tries
Mm-hmm.
to do this specific thing. For example, when the client schedules their appointment, that's what I want to look at. When you send out this appointment type to the client, they pick a time. They're on that scheduling page, and they pick a time, a date, and fill out all the other important information. Once they confirm on that, this trigger executes and it runs these steps in order, right? So for those that are not aware of that, we wanted to display that and show you these are the specific steps that we've pre-configured for you in order to know what is actually happening with the steps to do that. And as you can see here, let me go into the dashboard real quick. I'm going to open up another tab here because I want to easily switch back. If you go to the dashboard and you scroll down to the very bottom where your scheduling requests are showing, you can actually see the steps that it actually took here in the audit trail. These are the exact same steps that what the workflow is calling out. Okay, so there's that trigger when the client schedules the appointment. It's doing these things. It's going to try to create the schedule entry for those ConnectWise customers. We've already established that it's going to skip the creating the 365 event, Microsoft 365 event, because we're not going to create two of them, right? So we wanted to do that. And as I switch back, there's those steps. Okay, it's going to try and create the event. It's going to skip that step. There's that schedule entry it's going to create. So that's what I'm trying to point out is that these are the exact steps of what TimeZest is doing for you whenever these triggers here at the top level is trying to do. Okay. So now that we got that cleared, for those that want to move into workflow mode, by switching into that, it gives you the capability to be able to edit. Okay. Because right now I'm in classic configuration. You can see everything's grayed out because I can't edit anything. I have to do it within the classic configuration setup. Right. So it's all in here in this main UI portion of it. It's locked down on the workflow portion. If I wanted to, I can switch it over into workflow mode, which I'll do here. And then now, as you can see, there's a delete button. And then now I can make changes to those things. So it's just basically just giving you that extra added customizability to be able to not only update what we've already pre-configured for you, but you can add additional actions as well. All right. So say, for example, you wanted to add an additional step or an additional action when the client is going to be getting an appointment request from whenever you send it from within the service ticket inside of the pod. We can add another action in here to do something else, whatever you want. It's all available for you. You have the options to be able to do so. Our help documentation gives instructions on what I'm sorry, it gives a description of what each one of these does. So you have the capability to be able to do so. Send an email if I wanted to, and then here's the options to be able to do it. And if say you made a mistake, you have the option to be able to just refresh it, and it just goes away. Or if you saved it by mistake, you can feel free to delete it if you needed to.
Just some examples, just of things that I see customers do in this workflow mode that make it valuable to them is sending out. You can set up a timed trigger. So you can say, 1 hour before the scheduled meeting. And then you can set up actions. So you could say, okay, 1 hour before the scheduled meeting, send the customer, your customer, the client, an email. And then that custom email would be a reminder of their upcoming meeting, right? So you can say, hey, Bob, don't forget you have a meeting coming up in 1 hour with Mary for this ticket number, right? You get to customize what that says. And you can have a template that you can reuse in different appointment types, or you can do it specific to that appointment type. So if you have one where you need to have a template of information that is the same every time that appointment type is used, you can build it out right there in that workflow mode.
Yeah.
Another popular action that's added is in the reminder triggers. So, after a set amount of time, send them an email to remind them they still need to schedule their meeting. Today, that does not have an internal note that gets added to the ticket, but that's something else that you can do. So you can say, okay, add an internal note to the ticket that says, we sent, Bob a reminder that he still needs to schedule his meeting. And so those are some common things that I see um, customers put in place with the workflow mode to provide a little bit better value. And those internal notes, you can add them when it hits that no response timing, right? So you can have it add an internal note. And what that does is creates an audit trail right there in your internal notes of every step that TimeZest has taken, which in turn is, proof of trying to reach out to them and trying to get them to engage and schedule their ticket. So there's just a couple ideas.
Yep. So powerful,
Sweet.
very powerful tool.
Yeah.
When I was at in on the support team answering a lot of the chat questions, there was some really good questions about like should I move forward with it, and I'm kind of stuck on how to do it. We're here to help you. So if you ever want to take that jump and
Mhm.
mess around with it, create a dummy appointment type. Tell the team not to use it, and just test it out. See what it looks like. See what the um, end result looks like on the client side, as if you were the client. So then you can see what they would see, and test it out. And then if you ever get stuck or if it is not working the way you're intending it to be, our support team is there to help you out. So for those that are not aware about the chat, come down here and then speak to us. This is just a different environment, but it's a way for you to be able to get to us because we are available to help you out and talk it through. But yes,
Absolutely.
it is it is a good, powerful tool, but it does take a little bit of getting used to. But once you get the hang of it, it's there.
Yeah, and then the new UI provides a much cleaner experience if you compare the two. You got some color coding here, and the ability to kind of minimize the different triggers so that you can focus on one trigger set of actions at a time. I think is really fantastic. Is there anything else that you would like to show everyone today, Jason?
Another not really in terms of not in terms of the UI. Everything was good
Okay.
here. I kind of want to talk a little bit about next week, but are there any other
Yeah.
questions?
Yeah. Any other questions? Shannon, it's good to see you. I see the appointment types by board or team. Love that. Rob says, I'd love to have an active, inactive switch for appointment types so we can use them for testing, disable them, and come back to them later, etc.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a great idea.
that's one of the pieces or pieces of feedback that I want to include in terms of that consolidation discussion I'm talking about. Like
Yep.
not only setting up security of access to appointment types, but really inactivating it versus just because right now you have to delete it, which is not really
Yeah.
cool. 'Cause I may need to use it at some point. So is there a way to be able to just inactivate it? Say, don't use it right now. Let me make some adjustments, and then we can bring it back to life in the future. That's
Yeah.
one of the things I want to make sure it does too.
Awesome. Well, let's talk about next week.
Yeah.
Exciting. Jason and I will be in uh, Orlando for IT Nation, and so if you are there, please come see the team. But we're giving a class. Tell them about the class.
It's an 8 o'clock class.
Bring your
Uh,
coffee. I think we'll
yeah,
have some too,
yeah.
maybe.
For those that are attending, that are going down to Orlando for IT Nation, we're doing
Yep.
a pre-day event. We're going to be talking about this topic right here, predictive scheduling, and that's what I'm teasing with another thing that we're working on in the near future. We've already got it um, basically approved by our leadership team, and then our engineers are aware of it. They haven't started writing a line of code yet. Just wanted to be clear on that. We're about to start on it just because we're wrapping up on the new UI, working on some other back end stuff to clean it all up, and then we're eventually going to start working on this predictive dispatching product inside of TimeZest. But basically, what we wanted to use with this pre-day is giving you some knowledge about how pretty much how to prepare for it. Um, we wanted to have the presentation. It's 4 hours. It's gonna be a long time. So, like you said, like what she said, bring coffee. I'm sure they'll have coffee there. But
Yeah.
we're gonna try to make it. We're not gonna try. We are gonna make it fun. We're gonna make it interactive. We're gonna make sure you have a lot of um, you know knowledge that you can learn from and pick up whenever you go back to the office. But pretty much what we're trying to showcase here is that we understand where you are today with your dispatchers. A lot of them are experiencing a lot of challenges with the manual steps of what's going on today, specifically in the triage and dispatching area. And we're noticing a lot where there's a lot of movement and goals of trying to automate that and how to make that better and more useful for the dispatcher so that they can perform other functions within their job responsibilities without having to go back and manually do the triage and the dispatching piece. With this presentation, we're looking to not only call that out, we want to be able to say, we understand what these pain points are, we understand what those problems are. We want you, the audience, as well, to be able to just look within and call them out yourself and take note of that. We will then progress into what the future is of this dispatching and triage and how smart systems can make the job role of a dispatcher better. And then the exercise within that is to really let you think about how you can plan where your dispatcher can be within the next year, 2 years, 5 years, whenever these new smart systems will come into play and into your business during that time. We don't want them to just walk in and be like, "Oh, this thing is gonna replace the dispatcher." We need to make sure that they get an understanding of not only easing that fear, but also training them to get ready for this thing that's going to be an assistant to them. Okay.
Yep.
So we've got some activities that are in play, like, throughout the session to be able to let you start taking notes, start thinking about brainstorming where you can get your dispatcher ready, and then also too with our expertise with Joe's great expertise in TimeZest and also in the MSP space, along with what there's a bunch of us going, like 5 of us.
Yeah, it's a full crew. So
Yeah.
if you want to bring your laptops and work on something with me, I always say you can do that and come find me there, and I'm happy to look at your system, side by side with you. It's a great opportunity to really engage with the team and get help one on one if you want it. So I
Yeah.
like to offer that. It's like come find me. I'll look at it with you if you have a
Yeah.
question, right? So yeah, it'll
We've
be
got
good.
we've got a large combined years of experience between not only Joe and myself,
Hmm.
but other colleagues too within the TimeZest company. Would be more than happy to carve out some of that 4 hour time, if not more, within the IT Nation conference to be able to
Hmm.
assist you in any way.
Yep.
But if you're not attending, don't worry. Joe's got the links to share to be able to allow you to be able to schedule time with her or other
Yep.
customer success engineers just to make sure that you're there and have it ready to be able to ask your questions and really get ready for it because it's happening. It's going to happen. So we
And if
just
you're
put up
not
this
doing the
banner.
pre-day,
Oh yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, I was gonna say if you're not doing the pre-day, but you're coming to the event, please do come by the booth. I think I've been told we're at like 5:10 or 5:11, so we'll be back there. But stop on by and say hi. It's nice to see everybody, once a year, and like I said, can help you out with anything and talk through your system if you have them or your questions. Um, if you want to schedule time with me, the names that have popping up, I know we've worked together a few times, but feel free to just reach out to chat support, the yellow chat bot in the bottom corner, and say you want to schedule with the customer success, and they'll get you the correct link. So we are here to help you guys. As always, we're more than willing to jump on a Teams call and go through your system and answer any questions or concerns. And then the feature request page, I can try to snag that real quick. Definitely, use that to give your feature request or feature improvement ideas to Jason. So he actually manages that directly. And so it's a there you go, Jason. He's on top of it as I'm over here searching. So it's a great way to catalog your ideas. I saw some great ones in the chat. Please do take those and find them in the feature request, page of the roadmap so that others can vote on them as well as add commentary about how they would like it to look or work. And then, Jason can catalog that and research it and take it to the team. So we appreciate you guys. Any last things from you, Jason?
No, excited for new UI. Excited for the future of it. There's
Yeah.
a lot of cool things that we're looking to do, not only in the existing scheduling piece, but the potential for dispatching and triaging as well. So looking
Yeah.
forward to it to help you guys be a more efficient company and supporting your own customers.
If you do have feedback about the new UI, please take that to the support chat bot and we'll get those over to Jason. So as it's in beta testing, if you find anything that's not working, as expected or anything like that, we're open to hearing that feedback. So thank you everyone for your time today. We appreciate you taking the time out of your day to engage with us, and we'll see you all soon. Right?
Take care, everyone.
Bye, everyone.